Yo, what is up? It is Roger. We are back. We are back to working on the 240Z. If you don't know already, let me throw that out there. Boom, right there. Sorry for the mess. I'm gonna clean that up real quick. But today we're gonna be working on the idle air control valve. I have one from a Sentra that is a single port. If you have a Freddy manifold and you want to do this, instead of deleting it like some guys do, I recommend going with the Sentra one with one port. It'll help with your idle control. It is sunny here in California, so I don't need it. But instead of putting a block off plate and not having any assistance at all, I'd rather go with this. You can manually fix it. Raise the idle here, lower, raise it. You can raise and lower the idle here. So I mean, this is an option. This is cheap. Also, as well as if you have problems with your current OEM one, you can swap it out for one of these. I want to say I picked this up for like 60 bucks. Stock one's like $200, so 60 or 200 bucks, and plus you have less stuff to worry about. I'm gonna go over in full detail of how to do it. Pretty much, you're gonna be deleting one port that goes to the air regulator that goes across. So, less talking, more action. Let's get into it. So, if you're new to the channel, this is my setup. Series 1 RB25. I'm running a top mount, Freddy manifold, new fuel rail, blah blah blah. A lot of stuff. I go into more detail in another video when I do the fuel rail. I go into detail about it. But pretty much, I'm going to be removing the OEM one, which sits under the manifold back here. It's going to be hard to get all the angles, but I'm going to try my best to get the angles. But yeah, let's get into it. If I can't get the angles for you guys, I was very hesitant to record this video because it's just really tight spaces underneath the car and on the side of the car, so it's really hard for me to show you guys what I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to try my best to show you guys what to do. It's a very simple process. I mean, it's literally 3 bolts, as you can see here. 3 bolts and some vacuum lines, and then removing the bolts on the other stuff. But yeah, let me get you guys set up in a view where it works, and we'll go from there. So with the way I'm playing with my tripod right now, it's like playing with fire. Hopefully it does not fall, because that'll be a very big expense. So this is the stock one right here. As you can see, the 2 ports. You're going to take off all the vacuum lines and you're going to unbolt it. So we're going to start off with that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be plugging off this side here that goes to the air regulator. This other side that goes here, that's the side that goes to the idle air control valve. And then the part that goes into the plenum up here. Sorry, I'm losing a lot of blood to my head being upside down. There is absolutely no room down here. I need a lift. So if anybody wants to donate, hey man, hit my line. But yeah, so basically we're plugging off this port right here. Let's see if I can point at it. Where's my finger? This port here, and then a port where the plenum goes. You're just gonna follow this vacuum lines. Alright, so let's get to it. So I probably recorded this clip at least like 3 times because I keep messing up. But here is the OEM one. This port goes to the air regulator. This is what you're going to be deleting pretty much. And this is what you're going to be left with. This is a Sentra one. It simplifies everything. You can connect all the OEM ports, see? All the OEM wiring goes to the stock harness. I have an aftermarket harness, so that's what I'm going to be connecting to. And you're left with one single port. I believe I put a -10 on my intercooler piping. So this is going to connect to the intercooler piping right in front of the throttle body. Not right in front, but you get the gist, in front of the throttle body. So right now I'm going to take you guys underneath the car to show you. It's a very tight squeeze down there. I barely fit, let alone with the camera. It's going to be a pain in the back. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll get into where we have to plug. You're going to have to plug the air regulator, the OEM one. I'm not going to be putting any block off plates or deleting it. I'm going to be plugging everything. So from here, you're going to take off this vacuum line that goes to the air regulator. Let's say it's right here. You're going to plug it from here, plug it here, plug the other side, which it goes through the sensor, and you're gonna plug it that goes into the manifold. So let's get into it. Let me squeeze my hefty self down there. Let's go. Alright, now that all that has been removed, now you can see the ports. Here is one port, here is the second port, and the third port. You can barely see it. Let me see if I can grab it. Right there. It's one of the fittings that I used. So you're gonna block all these ports off. Obviously this port under the manifold, you can use it for whatever you need, boost lines, any vacuum lines really, for anything. As of now, I don't need it for anything, so I'm just gonna block it off. But yeah, unfortunately right now I ran out of plugs. I thought I had some, but I only have some that are smaller than it. But you get the gist. Block those ports off with plugs and obviously tighten them down, make sure they're secure, not gonna pop off. Now we're gonna get into installing this and then throwing a vacuum line onto the intercooler pipe that goes in front of the throttle body over here. Now that everything's nice and clean, let me hold up the part number for you guys so you guys can see it. Just to confirm with what you guys are ordering, you can always go with an aftermarket one. I love to go with OEM stuff just because OEM stuff is made for the car, so it's gonna work, compared to aftermarket. Could be a refurbished OEM, it could be done wrong with cheaper parts. Just always better to get off with the OEM parts off of low mileage cars. This one cleaned up very well, looks pretty good. Like I said, I went on eBay. I didn't get the cheapest one, I didn't get the most expensive one, I just got the one that looked good and was the right price. But yeah, let's get into installing it. All it is 3 bolts underneath, and then you're gonna get a vacuum line from this port up into the front. So let's get right to it. This is what it looks like now. Now it is just one port. You clean up that entire hose mess down there. Now all you have is one port going to the front, and that's it. Made it simple, easy. I'm just gonna run the line underneath, and from underneath I'm gonna go to here. This is where I had the bung made, and this is where I have the new port, and that's just gonna feed the new idle air control valve. So instead of doing the entire block off plate like a lot of people do, I went this route just so I can still have some control of my idle. I believe this port is used for idling in general, compared to this port was an air regulator to help with cold starts when it's very cold in the morning. We're in California, it's not cold. It is dark outside. I am not cold. I'm wearing literally a short sleeve, and I could be in shorts if I wanted to. So I'm completely fine not having it. Obviously, if you live in sub-0 degree weather, you're not going to be turning on your RB powered car. Maybe if you like to have donuts in all-wheel drive, or even in your Skyline, I mean, feel free to do that. You do what you want with your cars, but there's no snow anywhere near me, and I'm not taking this to anywhere where it's gonna be very cold. And even if that, you could always just hold your throttle down for 30 seconds to warm up your car. Unfortunately, I don't have the vacuum line. I guess I had it and I probably chopped it up for some other build over there. But you get the gist. You're gonna run the line from there to the front. That's it. Honestly, one of the easier installs ever. Super simple. Oh, and this is how I fix my cable. As you can see here. I don't know if I put this in my fuel rail video. Chop that off. See, it's sitting up there. Chop that off, and I just took the stock bracket. It's supposed to go here, but there's no room for me to put this on this side. So I just put it here. I put a bolt on top. I'm gonna drill a hole and put a bolt in the middle to hold it securely. In the future, I might just make a whole plate, nice solid plate to hold it, but for now, I mean, this does the job. Does it a lot better than before, just because I have such a long throttle cable. I'm gonna end up just tying it along all here, back there. Tried it out, it already works. Obviously the car's not running, so I don't know how 100% it's gonna work. But as of now, I have a little bit of slack so it doesn't hold it open. That was my problem before. It was holding it open ever so slightly. But now it's a lot more secure. It's not going anywhere, and it doesn't interfere with the new fuel rail. And just to answer any questions real quick, like I said earlier, I went this route because I have the front facing manifold. Before it didn't clear with the mess down there. Now it cleans everything up. Eventually I might get block off plates, but as of now it's not bothering me at all. I'm gonna end up switching the oil cooler into a external oil cooler that goes and routes everything to the front. I'm gonna move the filter somewhere else, or I'm gonna leave the filter there. It's not bothering me. I know it bothers some people, but for me it's fine there. And that's pretty much it for this install. I mean, there's nothing more to it. Let me flip the camera to me.
I know y'all would rather stare at me. Why would you love to stare at this motor instead? Makes sense. Look at this right here. Structure, man. This right here with the nog I have, I'm a 5.0 right here. Big ass levers in here, but besides that, thank you so much for watching. Guys, we hit 400. Let me pull it up. Cool. Right there. Hello. Today. 400. Crazy. Shout out to everybody supporting me. You guys are awesome. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm gonna be grinding. Got this part installed. This is the first part I've installed ever since my last video. I've literally had this on the back burner. You can tell how dirty my car is. Look at it. This thing is dusty. Damn. Look at that. Hey. We'll get right to it. I mean, I got the new wiring harness. I'm gonna be cleaning up a lot of stuff that I need to clean up on this car because it is crazy. We're going to be working on the interior, fixing up the interior. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep hitting that like button. It helps me out a lot with the algorithm and pushes my video out to more people. Keep hitting that sub button. I know. Y'all be watching and not subscribing. Subscribe, man. We're only going up from here. But yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Until next time. Peace.